No clear path. Just me, the cold, and miles of untouched snow. This is my first ever solo hike and camping in -4 degrees Celsius snowfall. I thought I was prepared. I was wrong.
So I finally decided my first solo hike and camping experience. I'm carrying around 15 to 17 kilos on this hike. Sleeping bag, tent, snacks, food, 3 liters of water, a small stove, 2 small cylinders, utensils, and a few other essentials. I'm only carrying an action cam and my phone, shooting just 10% of the time because I want to stay 90% focused on the hike and my safety. The plan is simple. Reach the top as soon as possible, explore the temple, and cover as much ground in daylight. More miles to go. I need to set up camp by 5 or 6 p.m. before it gets too cold. Will I make it? It's been 6 months since my last trek. Jumping back into trekking suddenly isn't easy, but let's see how it goes. There it is, Shank Pal top. Looks close, but it's still far. The last stretch is almost a straight climb. If there's old snow, it's going to be even harder. No spikes, no ice axe, just me and the climb. I can push through and reach the top, but if it snows today, the way back will be a real challenge. No trail to follow, 0 visibility, and that steep descent will be brutal. This is Shank Pal top, but these are old clips. Shank Pal sits at 2,800 meters, a hidden gem, home to the 400-year-old Raja Shank Pal temple. In summer, it's a trekker's paradise. In winter, Ladakh is covered under 10 to 15 feet of snow, yet it remains undiscovered. I decided to turn back. Too much snow ahead. The old snow was dangerously slippery. I had planned to stay at the top, but with snowfall expected tonight, descending later would be too risky. So I'm heading back. Need to find a good spot and set up camp before dark. I covered a good distance and found a spot to set up camp, checked for animals, secured the tent, made sure the door was locked tight with stones and poles. Then, finally, time for a hot meal. But sleeping, that was a different challenge. The tent's plastic material kept making loud noises, even with small movements. Felt like something was outside. I barely slept, stayed fully alert. By morning, I knew I had to leave early. A full-day snowstorm was expected, but the way back was tougher than expected. No snowshoes, no snow glasses, no visible trail. To avoid slipping, I tied a plastic rope around my shoes. It worked, but kept coming loose. Every step was a risk, kept hitting dead ends, deep snow, steep drops, no way forward. I was just 2.5 kilometers from my endpoint, but with 0 visibility and a hidden trail, that distance stretched to nearly 6 kilometers. At one point, I even thought about setting up my tent again, but that wasn't an option. I had no idea where to go. Every path led to a dead end. Even trying to cross deep snow was risky as it kept pulling me down. I calmed myself, took a good look around and chose a direction, but I still wasn't sure. I kept ending up at the wrong spots, forcing me to cross deep, unstable snow again and again. It wasted a lot of time and drained my energy. Then I called Sanjay bro for guidance and shared my live location. I told him my exact position and he guided me on which direction to take. He advised me to reach a higher point for a better view and then find the trail near the tower to follow. Every step was a guess, fell a few times, slipped a bit, but kept moving, and then a miracle. I spotted an old uncle walking in the snow with an umbrella. He was far, but I quickly made my way to where I had seen him. His footsteps were now my guide. I followed them and realized he had taken a shortcut. After some distance, I finally saw my endpoint. If I hadn't spotted him, I would have been stuck wandering for another 1 or 2 hours, and just like that, I made it back. Solo hiking and camping in -4 degrees, completed. The experience? Unreal. I learned how to navigate, stay calm, walk on snow, and push through extreme conditions. Would I recommend it? Not really. It was risky, but I pulled it off. And honestly, I'm proud of my process.